Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. And we definitely need to get some WD-40 for these arms on these mics. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today? Everything's just falling apart.
I don't know. There's like a loose knob on me now. Today, we are reviewing a musical. 2021, Year of the Musical, I think. It's coming back.
It is.
Strong showing for musical this year. I think Best Original Song is going to be a close one this year.
Yeah,
a lot of noms, probably.
And I believe this is lin-manuel's second film this year because we reviewed In the Heights earlier this year.
Yeah, right. Well, he didn't direct In the Heights, though, right?
Oh, he didn't?
I think he just made the music for In the Heights.
Oh, okay.
Because this film, Tick, Tick, Boom, on Netflix, is his directorial debut.
There we go.
Yeah. New film on Netflix. Yeah, In the Heights was directed by John M. Chu.
Oh, okay.
I think he just did the music for it.
Well, I'm just going to go out and say that unquestionably this is hitting my top 10. If not number one.
Yeah, I have a prediction that it's going to be... I liked it more than In the Heights.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be the best musical of the year.
Unquestionably.
West Side Story, you got old
Steven
Stevie Spielberg.
You never know with that guy.
He's hit and miss. Yeah, well, it's going to be nominated for 9 Oscars. Of course. Best drama, best comedy, everything.
This one, in a performance of a lifetime for Andrew Garfield, too. I mean,
yes, I would agree.
My favorite role of his,
he's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor, and I like him. I mean, he's great. He's been in so many good movies, and he was not the worst part of Spider-Man by far. I mean, the writing of that movie was horrible, but he did a good job as Spider-Man. But yeah, his best performance, I think. He was amazing in The Social Network, but he's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
And just amazing actor, man. He shows a lot of range in this film.
A ton of range.
Yeah.
This, Call Me Crazy, definitely should get a nom for this performance.
I think so. I think he's will. I think other people are saying it's his best role, too, who, crazy enough, never sang before this. And then he got the role, and he spent a year training to sing.
You're joking.
Yeah.
I figured he was just musically talented. He was so good.
So Lin-Manuel Miranda, this is another really weird story. Lin-Manuel Miranda, he immediately wanted Andrew Garfield without even knowing if he could sing or not. But they had a mutual friend who was a massage therapist. Weird detail.
Yeah.
But he was asking this guy. He's like, because he knew Andrew Garfield. They were both friends. And this is before Lin-Manuel Miranda ever met Andrew Garfield. And he was like, can he sing? And the massage therapist was like, voice of an angel.
Had no idea if he could actually. Why would you ask a masseuse that? How do I know if he can sing? I just massage
How the fuck
him.
is this massage therapist friends with every goddamn celebrity, the biggest celebrities in all of them?
Question.
I know.
That's a real one.
God damn, he must have magic hands.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's rubbing down everyone. But then, apparently right after that, and people must take what this massage therapist says to heart. Mm-hmm. Like, if this guy says it, if Jerry says it,
it's as good as gold.
Because I guess he immediately left that massage therapy meeting and called Andrew Garfield and was like, hey, you got the job.
Really?
If this guy who knows absolutely nothing but how to touch another man says you can sing, you're in my show, guy. You're in it. And that's what he did. And I guess he trained for a year before, and it shows. He does have voice of an angel.
Yeah, he does. He's got a great voice.
He does have a really good voice. But
and the cast for this is awesome, too. Vanessa Hudgens is in this as well.
We got to talk about her. She doesn't have a line.
No.
I mean,
she just literally sings the whole time.
I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah. I did not see that coming. But
God, she's a great singer.
She's a great singer. At this point, they're like, not that talent of an actor, sing.
So we'll bring you in for these musicals. You're pretty.
She was great in High School Musical because that was a Disney.
That
was a Disney film on the Disney Channel. So no one's
the bar is not set very high.
It's as low as it gets, actually. And that was not when Disney was making the best original movies on Disney Channel as well. They were
They're getting lazy, a little sloppy.
Yeah.
Bring back Brink, right?
Oh, Brink. Yeah. Anyways, we got to talk about what this film is about. It's a play turned into a movie, and it was written by the guy who wrote Rent, Jonathan Larson. Yeah, who also wrote this musical, Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yep.
But it's a semi-biographical about his kind of life and how him starting in New York or whatever. But it's a fictional story as well about what's his name in this film? Jonathan Larson is
the writer of Rent.
Is the writer of Rent? Yeah. So
played by Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. So it's his story about him trying to make like a sci-fi dystopian.
Called Superbia.
Yeah, Superbia.
Superbia, yes.
That never works, but really it's just more about like just the challenge of any kind of artist, just a struggling artist. And what really resonated with me was like, he was like going on 30, he had done nothing with his life. That was the biggest story. I mean, that
resonated with me too.
Well, I think it's going to resonate with everyone because I think anyone that has been 27 or 28 has gone through the exact same thing. 30 sounds like 80. I mean, to some people, for sure. And crazy enough, though, he died at 35.
Yeah, the day before Rent was set to be on Broadway.
And Rent it went from, I think, what was it? It was like
12 years in total.
12 years, which is the 11th longest Broadway play of all time.
Run, yeah.
Tragic. He died at 35.
35.
Yeah. It's almost like he knew.
Aneurysm.
Yeah, because he had
aneurysm.
He had Marfan syndrome, undiagnosed, which is
basically splitting of the tissue, if I read that correctly.
Well, people with Marfan syndrome are actually there's a lot of actors with it because it gives you really characteristic features. Your fingers get elongated, your face kind of gets elongated.
Yeah, and they're skinny typically.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that do like monster work.
Yeah.
Like in Ma, the guy who plays in Ma.
And what was the other guy?
And there's a famous guy who always works with the director of Ma and It. Mm-hmm. He also plays the decaying woman in It.
He's Mike Flanagan, the long guy. You know who I'm talking about?
I can't remember his name,
God
but
dang it.
I'm pretty sure that's the same actor.
Too.
I'm pretty sure it's the same actor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they do, because and it also gives you you become very flexible, so you're able to contort your bodies in weird ways. But he was undiagnosed, and the crazy thing is, he went to the doctors because he was having really bad chest pains, and they said it was stress. And really, there was an actual reason, and they said had he gotten the correct diagnosis, he would have lived.
Yeah,
which is brutal.
Which is even worse. Yeah.
Well, it's much worse. I mean, when they could
have
saved
much
him.
worse than that.
They could have saved him.
Than death. Death is pretty terrible.
But I mean, nothing like that happens in the film at all. It does involve death because it's in the 90s, of course. Right. AIDS was ongoing in the 90s.
Well, and is what
it's still ongoing.
Rent's inspired by a lot of that too. Obviously the story of Rent and dealing with people with HIV positive and whatnot.
Well, that's what I loved was eventually when his shitty manager tells him, write what you know, and then he ends up writing Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom and whatnot. But I really enjoyed it. I thought Lin-Manuel for his first directorial debut, it's not the perfect film, but it's really, really good. There's some camera work that's really well done, and I thought he did a really good job. Yeah, first outing is pretty impressive.
For me, I was, and I'm sure you can talk to some of the problems that you had with this, but for me, as a film goer, as a film viewer, if it resonates with me and I feel power and I feel the pacing is good, then I give it resounding reviews. And this hit me in the feels, man. I was getting emotional watching this film, just because the struggle of being an artist, the struggle of almost being 30 years old. You work so hard for so many years, and you don't think you're ever gonna make it. You have that doubt. But you just keep working. You keep working.
Well, this one has a really good message, too, because he doesn't. The entire thing is him building up this play and the workshop. After the workshop, he just keeps saying, this film is funny, too. I laughed out loud a couple times.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It is funny, yeah. But But yeah, the workshop, he keeps saying he's after workshop, and then the workshop happens, and he gets nowhere from it. It's just a huge setback and a gut punch. But
it was a gut punch for me, too, as an audience member. And then, trying to put yourself in Jonathan Larson's shoes, and you're like, God, this is awful. But, man, this film set the tone right away with the music. The music is phenomenal. The choreography, the voices of these actors, I really enjoyed it. The diner scene in particular at Soho was awesome. I fucking loved when the wall just comes out.
Yeah.
And it drops down, and it's like you're
the
watching
Moonlight Diner,
which
is kind of famous, yeah.
It's like you're watching a Broadway show.
Well, this film felt very Broadway, and that's Lin-Manuel. He's Broadway. I mean, he is Broadway for sure. But yeah, I mean, I like those scenes a lot too. And a lot I didn't know. Stephen Larson. I mean, he was like a prodigy with music writing. Yeah. I mean, he could write music and
about anything,
and he could write plays in days. I mean, he was phenomenal. It's a shame he died so young, because I can only imagine he would have been like Steven Soderbergh, who's in this film a lot, and that guy is the best musical writer of all time. Wrote West Side Story and all that.
In the continuing conflict of this film is something too that I absolutely loved, because we get this often in Andrew Garfield, is the 401k, the nice car, the nice apartment. I have this talent. It's finally nice to be recognized for this, when no one recognizes me, where I want to be recognized, which is on Broadway, by producers. I could live this really good life, but he just refuses to give up on his dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
like you write jingles.
Right, but that's the decision every single artist has to make at some point. Do I give it up for a nice life? Do I do a career change? Do I change?
99.9% of people do give it up, because of course it's so tempting to do an advertising job where you'll be safe and secure. That's what you want. I mean, that's what anyone's looking for. So, but for him to keep going, even with the offers and whatnot, it's inspiring at least. I mean, that for sure. Inspiring. Yeah. But yeah, I think the best music section was when his friend tells him he has AIDS, and then they get into I think that whole song, and the camera work was amazing too, of zooming in on his friend. It's a brutal scene, because his friend's trying to tell him the whole time that he's got AIDS, and he's so obsessed with the workshop and what's going on that he's missing out on every aspect of life, with his girlfriend and his friend and what's going on. And he's got friends dying left and right because it's the 90s and whatnot, and it's a powerful scene. But I really like that song a lot.
Also, the actress who plays Susan, Alexandra Shipp, phenomenal. I thought she did such a good job, and I felt like their relationship was really true and genuine as well. And you deal with that conflict as well, as like she's now giving up, being a quote unquote dancer to teach dance, but it's different because she's working at a school, and she's now given up on, quote unquote, given up on her dream. And this whole course, they're like, let's talk. I got to give him a decision by Wednesday. He keeps pushing it off, and you finally get that one moment where she goes, all I wanted you to tell me is not to leave.
Yeah.
And they have a good moment. But he's still obsessed with music.
Because he's got to write the one song.
Yep. And you see him tap on the back of her when they're hugging. She's like, I can't do this.
Well, that's what I thought too. I thought one of the more realistic portrayals of a relationship in film. Because sometimes it's so stupid, but just her being like, she never really wanted to go to fucking, I can't remember, it was like Brushwick or something, but somewhere far out of the city. But she never really wanted to go. But he just didn't even want to talk about it.
Well, and didn't even care about it. It was like a side thing that I'll deal with later.
Yeah, exactly. But had he just talked to her, I mean, he would immediately found out that, she's not really into this. She just wants him to show any kind of, want for her to stay.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't do, unfortunately.
No. Not until it's basically too late.
Yeah, but I thought the technical aspects were really well done with the camera work. I like the scene of there's a musical scene of him in the pool swimming that I thought was really well done.
I love that as well. Yeah,
him floating down to the 30.
When even singing as he's swimming.
Yeah,
which was
Susan,
a unique
and then you seen the girl on the side that kind of looked like her or whatever. Yeah, really well done, I thought.
Yeah, I love the music in this as well. I don't know, man. This is might be my favorite film this year.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, it might be my favorite.
That's crazy.
Film. I'm actually, I didn't get to watch it with my wife, and I texted her right after. I said, I don't care. I don't like to rewatch film, but I will rewatch this one if you want to watch it.
It has a very, very strong third act. It ends really well. I mean, from the scene of him finally having the workshop to him getting told no, and then him getting told his friend has AIDS and him running through the park and whatnot. Yeah. It's a really... the third act is really, really strong.
When I thought they did, they really embodied like Jonathan Larson and what he cared about and what he was dealing with in his life. Obviously with not just Michael, his best friend, becoming HIV positive at the end of the film, but also his friend at Soho restaurant, the Moonlight restaurant or cafe. And like dealing with that in the 90s was a real thing that a lot of people had to deal with, and a lot of people died because of it.
Especially if you're probably in the New York Broadway scene, which is, a lot of gay people, obviously. Of course, yeah. And what I've heard from those times, 80s and 90s, if you're in that scene, is a friend was dying every week, which is just wild, And the government wasn't doing anything about it. Of course not. They weren't doing. So it is. I thought they did really good at bouncing back and forth with that real drama, and then kind of with any musical, it's like it's half fantasy, half not. But this one felt even more grounded than a lot of other musicals.
Super, and I love and I don't want to call it exposition because it wasn't, but it kind of was when Jonathan Larson, Andrew Garfield is on the stage, talking. I love that through his life. Yeah, it's great because music.
At first you're thinking it's the Suburbia workshop or whatever. That's what I
thought at first too.
And then you see this workshop happens and it's in a whole nother room, so you're kind of like, oh, what the hell? And the whole time you didn't even realize, but you're watching the play. You're watching Tick Tick Boom like you would, as in the play. I'm sure that's probably how it was set up. Was just him with the piano and people playing or whatever. Then you're also watching the movie play out too, his personal life. I really like that kind of storytelling element. Yeah. I thought they did a really good job with that. Yeah,
and I love the scene too when they're arguing again, and then they're like doing the dance.
That was
thing.
Also my favorite, probably my second favorite song was that song too. Because that's when he has the argument with Susan.
Yep.
And then
the lyrics are so clever and it's so well performed,
and you could tell it was. Everyone knew that was going to be because that's a song they show in the trailer too a lot, because it's really well shot of him arguing with her and then going back and forth to the song, back and forth, and then I really like that scene. I'll probably can go back and watch that scene, but really well done. I like that.
Another like the climax of this film obviously is the whole time. Obviously, as we just brought up, he's a prodigy. He writes music like it's nothing. But he's struggling with the main, I believe the character's name was Elizabeth?
I think so.
Something of that nature. But the main character, he had to write that last song for her, and he couldn't do it this whole film, right?
Well, Steven Soderbergh told him at one point his second act needs you need a song in between certain story points.
To establish the third act.
Which he never thought he needed.
Right.
And then the other producer tells him as well.
Like, hey, kid.
I love that scene, too, when he's like, has anyone ever told you that? He's like,
what? No.
Nope.
He goes, but maybe one person.
And then they go to the scene of him at the workshop, and that's an hilarious scene when the guy's like, he's like, I hated it. Yeah. He's like, song sucked. He's like, everything. He's like...
that's a famous actor. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he's
so funny.
He's funny in everything. Yeah. But yeah, I love that scene. And then Steven Soderbergh was like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then that guy would keep going back and be like, my thoughts exactly.
Like, yeah, we're on the same page. We just have different perspectives.
And then at the very end, Steven Soderbergh comes back in and like tells him something else. And then the camera like zooms over and the other guy's still sitting there. He's like, my thoughts exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he's still standing there. Like, but there's some funny parts that I really enjoy.
Yeah, there are.
That I end up laughing out loud, and I don't do that in a lot of movies.
Another scene that was really powerful too is that climactic moment when like he's finally performing. He wrote the song. The Vanessa Hudgens got the lyrics and the music. 2 hours before the performance, and then it switches from Vanessa to his girlfriend Susan.
Yeah,
in the green dress out there. I really
sucks for
enjoyed that,
Vanessa
too.
Hudgens, but
yeah, I mean,
that's
she's
immediately
not
my
the
thought
gal.
was like, geez, even this is like the most important scene, and they're like, swap her out,
We're swapping her out,
but still using her voice. I think.
of course, yeah. They did go back to her occasionally, but she didn't get the.
But literally not a line when she wasn't singing throughout the entire film.
I don't think she did have one.
No, she didn't. I'm not saying that to be funny. I was watching because I thought, oh, Vanessa Hudgens, which I had no idea she was even in this.
I kept thinking
she has
it was
to be
her.
like eighth build in this or something.
Yeah.
Like she's way down there.
I hadn't seen her in forever, and I was like, "Is that Vanessa?" And then I was like, "No, that's not Vanessa."
She still looks great.
She does.
She's looking.
I will not.
She's still looking very good.
She is
for sure. But Zac Efron should never let that piece go.
Yeah. What is he doing? Oh, she's only 32.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. I feel like High School Musical was like decades ago. I guess that was like 2006.
Well, they were supposed to be in high school when it happened.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. It's just Disney, you know. They always cast like 30-year-olds.
They were older for
films,
sure, but yeah, they were a little younger in that one for sure. But yeah, the musicals, she's good at that.
She's a great talent.
She's really good at that. She's got a great voice, but yeah, I thought she did. I like the element of putting like the video at the end too of Stephen Larson and like showing him at the piano or whatever. It was really cool. And showing him the diner too was cool too. I like stuff like that.
So do I. I like when you intertwine it. And it can either be sprinkled in or at the end, but either way, I do enjoy seeing like the real person in real life.
Yeah, if it was based on a real person or whatever, and there's like a scene where you pretty much copied that. Because there was scenes that you could tell that Andrew Garfield was just straight up doing an impression of exactly what he saw on video. But yeah, the whole scene of him in front of the crowd too, and like when he's back like in doing the play and talking about his gay friend too, and Andrew Garfield breaking down into tears. That will be the scene that will be remembered if he does get nominated for something.
There are so many scenes for him in this film that you could go to and be like, wow. You could show to an acting class and be like, look at how good he is. You know, like,
oh yeah,
he really is. He knocked it out of the park in this role. And as you said, like his range, like he had to go everywhere, happy, mad, sad. And the way he's so elegant in the way that like he's emotional when he's sad. And I always see it in him where he's like, you can tell he's holding back. You could tell the character had so much stress that he was constantly holding back tears.
He does always seem like he's on the edge of tears.
Yeah. But it worked
even like whenever you see him,
worked perfect for this role because you could just imagine how Jonathan was just constantly stressed.
He's exactly like that in The Social Network too, as Mark Zuckerberg's friend. He always looks like he's just about to burst. Mm-hmm. Like he's But yeah, he's a great actor, man. It's a shame Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, was so bad because they could have had something good with him.
Yeah, they could have.
And they fucked it up.
They shit the bed
because he will never do a superhero film again.
Oh, absolutely not. No. And I guarantee he's probably not in the new Spider-Man.
No, if he is, it's going to be a quick cameo.
Yeah, it'll be in and out.
He's the only one that didn't have a good experience as Spider-Man. I mean, every other Spider-Man has loved it. But yeah, he's great though, and I wouldn't care if he ever did another superhero film again. He should do more musicals.
He should.
I think he's got something there. He's super talented. But yeah, it's always nice when someone who's always an amazing actor also ends up being an amazing singer too. You know.
Just super talented people.
Spread some talent around.
We could use a drip of it every so often.
No wonder we're getting it. Maybe you are hogging it all. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I wonder if Lin-Manuel Miranda will ever do a movie that's not a musical.
No, I don't think he needs to. They're so good, and this is the niche market that he crushes.
Yes.
So like, and I get it.
But I don't
directorial debut, but like even like In the Heights. You know, you had Hamilton that was Broadway that went, to film, on Disney Plus, whatever. But like I say, he just sticks to this because he's great at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool musicals that could get a film adaptation for sure.
Oh yeah,
that people, because they're always so hit and miss. I mean, they really are from Broadway to film. They're rarely good, but I think he does. I'm interested to know how many songs, if any, did he write for this? Because the music would have already been written by Stephen Larson. So I wonder if he wrote anything, because that's his strong.
Probably a lot easier for him this time around.
Easier than doing Hamilton, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who I think he spent 10 years working on.
Yeah, of course. That's a grueling task writing a musical, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, clearly, and this movie does a very good job of illustrating how hard it is.
Yeah.
Especially, I love that scene too when he calls his agent after he had the workshop, and she's like trying to do everything but tell him like it didn't work.
Yeah,
she's doing like they loved it, but they'll love the next one. They'll love the next one anymore, and he immediately is like, "Oh, what the fuck does that mean?"
Well, 8 years of your life to be turned down. In
your youth,
this is the
all
worst
your 20s.
thing. Everyone's saying, "Wow, you're an incredible writer. You're really good." Can't
Well,
wait
everyone
for
loved
the
the
next
show.
one.
I know.
Are you kidding me? Produce this one. That's what's so frustrating about people with money is they don't fucking understand art.
Yeah.
Or good art.
Well, no one ever. That was an ongoing joke through that thing. Is no one understood what the play was.
Yeah.
Even the actress that was in the play was like, "Can you just
I
explain
have a
it?
quick question. Can I just?
Why are you here?"
Yeah.
But it was a confusing play, to be honest.
Might have been.
I had no idea what was going on, but yeah, that's one thing I thought they did a really good job of. Any kind of writer, you know, his agent says that's what writing is. She says, you just got to throw everything you have at the wall, and hopefully one thing will stick. She says, when you write the next one, go on to the next one. Keep going, keep going. You just got to write everything.
Yeah.
You can't spend 8 years each time.
And I noticed, kind of switching subjects here, I did notice that we got a little bit of a cameo from Lin-Manuel. He was the cook in the Moonlit Diner.
Yeah, is he going to start cameo on everything now?
I think so. I think it's like the Marvel thing.
He didn't even really have a cameo in The Heights. He had a role.
Yeah, he had a full-blown role. He was a cart pusher, for the hot dog stand or whatever.
So I would not call that a cameo.
No, I would not
And
either.
in Hamilton, he's Hamilton, so I don't know. But I didn't mind that cameo. I don't mind them when they're seconds long.
Right.
You know, and he's got a great voice, too, so let him sing. But
I know, he should have sang a song.
good for him to be able to take a back seat on this. I mean, like, I don't need to be the star for
That's
this.
true. He doesn't have that much of an ego, I suppose.
And I can just assume, I'm not like a musical theater guy, but I have to assume Stephen Larson to musical theater people, he's like Moses.
Yeah.
You know, so for Lin-Manuel to do this, I'm sure it was a big, big deal for him to do something involving Stephen Larson. Because, you know, he was amazing. But, yeah, good for him to be able to do this.
Yep.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I'm going to rewatch it. I don't
good.
rewatch
It's worth
film,
it.
but I loved it. So,
Yeah, streaming on Netflix, too.
yep.
Don't even have to go to the theater. Don't have to brave the crowds or anything. You can watch it in the comfort of your home.
Which is wonderful.
It's always nice. I know. Yeah, what's going to be the best musical this year?
Tick, Tick, Boom.
I'd never watched Annette with Adam Driver. That's also a musical that I never got to watch. That was on Netflix, too,
I didn't see that
believe.
either. Yeah.
But
I might
right
have to
now,
check
I
that
know
out.
it's
Annette, yeah.
it's going to be between this one and I think West Side Story.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, West Side Story.
I know. I'm really not excited for it.
Neither am I, if I'm being honest. I've seen it.
I know.
It is.
But it's Spielberg. He's going to bring some kind of magic to it, you know.
I know.
He
I know.
still has
I'll
it.
probably end up go seeing it, but I don't know. I'm just not that excited for it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm as excited for this as I was for Lincoln, which I only recently saw Lincoln, which is
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah, that's another Spielberg movie. Yeah. I only saw that pretty recently, but Spielberg's been he's been missing it for me lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'll go see any musical he wants to do.
Absolutely. Especially if it's film and I ain't got to pay $800 for a ticket.
Oh, I meant that. Yeah, I can't go.
No, we can't afford that.
I mean, I can't fly to New York either.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
So, yeah. And I don't think he's doing theater anymore, man. He's got the taste for the films.
Hey,
So,
do you blame the man?
No, I don't.
No, he's He's very talented.
He's the hottest name. He's one of the hottest names in Hollywood right now. I mean, he writes for Disney, he wrote for Moana. He does Disney movies. He's probably the best songwriter in the biz.
Yeah.
But, pretty good. I'd recommend it.
Absolutely. Alrighty, well, that is our review. If you guys like what you see in here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.